like and subscribe. Why does it seem so normal to get ghosted nowadays? All of my friends have been so flaky lately. Most of them have gotten girlfriends. I understand that they need to spend time together. I'm genuinely happy for them. But what bothers me is that they will make plans with me. Even reach out to me first. We make plans to play tennis, go to the gym together, try out some new restaurants/bars. Only for them to flake on me. My best friend literally makes plans with me, then disappears on the day we made plans, even though I can see he's been online on Messenger. Bump into him at a bar with his girlfriend, and he acts like he totally just didn't flake on me. So, I started dating too. Been casually dating this girl for 2 months. Things were starting to get kind of serious. She'd invite me out with her friends, cook for me, sleep over, have sex, do activities together, go on dates. Met her twice a week. Then, out of nowhere, she completely ghosted me. I saw her last Saturday. Everything was fine. We agreed to do something last Tuesday. On the day, she's nowhere to be seen. I ask her what she's up to, and doesn't get back to me 8 hours later. Said she's been busy, and can't make it to the date, because her aunt's cat is not feeling well, LMAO, and is going over there. I just said okay, and assumed she lost interest. Haven't heard from her in 2 days now. Didn't even apologize or try to reschedule. I've been focusing on myself the last few weeks. Working out, eating healthy, reading books, enough sleep, going out solo. But I find myself getting bored and lonely. Is this normal in your mid-20s? I expected most of my friends to get girlfriends and go their own way. But I didn't expect it to be this lonely. If I make plans with you, I'll be there on time. If I'm running 5 minutes late, I'll let you know. If a better plan comes along, still go with you. If I can't make it, I'll let you know as soon as possible. People don't want to be seen as the bad guy. They don't want to say I don't wanna be friends anymore, or when it comes to dating, I'm not interested. They simply ignore you, and thus avoiding the need to say anything. Their conscience is saved. What they don't realize is that it hurts more to be ignored. I was ghosted for the first time a couple of years ago. It was someone whom I thought was a friend. So when I didn't hear back from them, I panicked and began worrying about them. I almost went by their place to make sure they were okay and sent a message saying as much, and that prompted them to respond finally. I felt so stupid, but being a native's child, it never occurred to me that this was even a possibility. I'm a straightforward person. If you tell me you don't want to be friends anymore, then fine. As sad as it may make me, I'd respect your wishes. Ghosting is just a thing to do. Ghosting and passive-aggressive behavior are weapons of the weak, my friend. They are not normal, they are a product of not being able to deal with their own emotions. Do not accept them. I had a similar experience to this in my early 20s. It sucked and I ended up moving and finding new friends. Not saying this is what you should do, but my new friends have never ghosted me once. In terms of dating, it's so easy for people to stop showing interest, because in the digital age all you have to do is stop replying. Move on from these people fast, and don't look back. Online dating has made it normal. You don't owe a stranger on the internet an explanation for anything. You don't have to explain to a screen name why you've chosen to stop talking to them. It's begun bleeding into real life. 30 years ago, breaking up over the answering machine was bad. 10 years ago, breaking up over text was bad. Now it's normal just to disappear and let them figure it out. It's begun bleeding into real life. 30 years ago, breaking up over the answering machine was bad. 10 years ago, breaking up over text was bad. Now it's normal just to disappear and let them figure it out. I hate how true this is. Texting and dating apps have made communication less in person, and with the next person just being one swipe of the phone away, I think there is a bigger feeling of FOMO. So you start a conversation, maybe even plan a date, or even go on a date, but then the other person finds someone else who is likely similar to you, but different enough for them to think, well, I'll give this guy a shot, and then you get ghosted. At least that is my theory. I luckily met my wife in college, when it was easier to date/meet people, and before Tinder was so widespread. I don't think my self-esteem could have handled today's dating world. I believe it has always been somewhat common. The change is that digital connections are more common and digital connections have always been easier to ditch. If it's close friends, that's still a move and should be addressed. With regards to dating/newer friendships, I think it's because fewer relationships today are between people who have to see each other regularly or via mutual friends, so it's easier to just mentally detach. Because selfish assholes keep doing it. And of course PPL are cowards. It's so easy to do. Why tell people why you do not want to hang out when you can do nothing to achieve the same result? It's awful, but people prefer being non-confrontational because it is less awkward. People are lazy. I've been ghosted after first dates, but after 2 months that would me up a bit. Just be straight with her and ask why she's ghosting you. And as for your friends, since they are already flaking on you, you don't have much to lose. Be straight up with them too, but over the phone or in person. I get that you guys weren't together for very long, but she really ghosts you after cooking for you and doing for 2 months. Like, really? No explanation of any kind. What kind of is that? This kind of thing is why I have no interest in dating. To answer your question, I think it seems so normal because people have gotten incredibly lazy and get bored quickly, so ghosting has become more normal. People would rather sit on there and disrespect each other than resolve their problems. Modern women also tend to have this idea that they have the power to be extremely choosy with men. Unfortunately for them, that is definitely changing. I don't know why this girl you were dating decided that things weren't going to work out. Hell, she probably doesn't even know, which is why she ghosted you. I can definitely tell you that women lose interest over the smallest stuff, and whatever happened, it was probably small and petty enough that she felt more comfortable being an asshole than trying to justify her behavior. I found my GF at age 60. At age 30, this kind of crap was intolerable. You took a social hit for not ending something correctly. Now, no. So it's the easy way out. Ghosting your guys is not cool. You should look at this as a sign from God to find better friends. If they will ghost you over a tennis game that they arranged, they will do the same or worse if you called for help. This is not normal. I don't think you are your best friend's best friend. I think that people ghost so much now is because of the internet and zero confrontation. It is the great paradox of our times. So many ways to communicate instantly have made us less communicative. Being ghosted after dating seems common enough. Women tend to be scared how the people will react towards them. But mates doing it to each other, that's straight up tie. It's more strange that they reached out to you and made plans to bail. Wow. Happens. I sometimes make plans, but can be a really hard week and I can't be at doing anything in this day and age when a text message takes 5 seconds to send. There is no excuse for someone not just giving their mate the heads up. Women tend to be scared how the people will react towards them. As a female, I can tell you, this is 100% correct. She completely ghosted me. Totally normal, especially in the US. Men ghost women, women ghost men. No one wants to have the difficult conversation. Serious people are a rare commodity nowadays. Didn't even apologize or try to reschedule. Probably because she's talking with someone else. I've seen that story play out many times. You're not the first person she's done this to. I've been focusing on myself the last few weeks. Working out, eating healthy, reading books, enough sleep, going out solo. But I find myself getting bored and lonely. Is this normal in your mid-20s? Completely normal. And it's exactly what you should be doing. Ironically enough, by doing that you'll find a good group of people who fit right in. Figure out who you are in this time. Scary, isolating, but critical. The 20s are a very weird time in your life. Your high school/college friends go their own way in life, and you do the same. So you're in a really transitional period. This is also why people are so flaky in their 20s. They're focused entirely on themselves, and don't give a care in the world for anyone else. Ghosting feels the worst. It's not even like I don't have time for you like most people pretend that I could understand. 90% of the time, it's I don't care about you at all, and you're not even worth a reply. Not speaking as a girl, but I've heard a lot of reasoning from girls that have ghosted guys that some dudes can totally flip and become threatening if they get rejected or if she decides to break it off. I can see that, but if it's just not wanting an awkward, non-threatening situation, then they should grow up. If it's a friend ghosting you, then they need to sort their out. I've had friends who drop out at the last minute, or see the message, read receipts, then wait until after, or during the event to say sorry, I didn't see this, I'm busy, which is bull. I haven't cut those people out of my life. One is actually a very close friend, but after having it happen too many times, I gave up involving them in plans. If they initiate something, I show up if I'm available, but I don't bother trying to work things around them, because when I have done in the past, it gets thrown back in my face. Being ghosted happened before social media too. It happens. People move on, and sometimes not saying anything, or just letting the relationship fade, is the best way. She probably met another guy, unfortunately. 29 years old male here. It's more normal than not. It sucks, but if you're anything like me, you eventually become numb to it. Most people suck in this world. Narcissism. Personally, going solo is sometimes way better than going with people. I bought tickets to a comedy show next week and a Whiskey Myers concert in a couple, which I will be doing solo on purpose. Just keep doing you. Find stuff that's going on around your town/city and just go. Friends flake? Their loss. Ghosting is one of the most toxic things people can do, tbh. It's them taking the easy way out by avoiding to actually talk to you like a grown-up how they feel about the relationship you guys had, good or bad. Like these people need to grow up and communicate. My mom, who is 51, had been talking to a guy, 58, for a couple months who lived a little over an hour away. They talked on the phone, FaceTimed every day. He texted her throughout the day to let her know he was thinking of her. They made plans that he initiated for them to meet halfway for dinner finally. They talked about how excited they both were multiple times. He texted her at 10 a.m. that morning, and then never again. Could see he read her messages. She called him once to give him the benefit of the doubt, and he never answered. He has not spoken to her since. 58 years old. I have no idea what the logic was behind it. I think sometimes it has to do with the other person more than you. S/N. If anyone has any idea why someone would waste their time and do this, I'd love to hear some ideas. He was probably married and testing the waters. Probably some of his information was a complete fake. They were never there for you when you needed them the most. Keep your heads up and be comfortable with spending some time on yourself. People come and go. I am sure you'll have new people coming into your life who will give you all the right reasons to trust in genuine connections. In the meantime, spend some quality time on self-improvement and working on yourself. DS. People gotten self-centered over time, lost almost all respect towards others, and parallel to that we moved to more and more digital communication, which left people unable to cope with live confrontation. Generally it seems that people get lost in their own world and are unable to admit the reality of not living in a bubble. I can only suggest you confront them and tell them that either they keep their word or you part ways. Alternatively, you could also just play their game, so if they make plans and you don't show up, you can always just say, "Oh, you usually ghost me, so I didn't really expect you would show up." If they don't get back to you after the meeting, it's probably because they really didn't show up either. Give everyone a chance, and what is the most important thing today that also a lot of people just are unable to do? Give honest feedback. If you don't tell others directly they are being an asshole, they will continue being an asshole thinking you like that. But don't let them drag you like an idiot. I think a lot of this has resulted from social media. Even if you lived in a city 20 years ago, you had a small group of friends and often dated work acquaintances, or within the friend group / friends of friends. Now, there's no drawback to ghosting / being a type person to someone with minimal contact with your friends / acquaintances. I think this is mainly due to 1. The illusion of abundance. Why commit to the imperfect when through modern technology literally millions of other people are at your fingertips? Surely one of them is exactly what you are searching for. Therefore each individual becomes less valuable and easy to replace. This is even more pronounced in dating. 2. People accepting such behavior. Look at your own story. She clearly did not recognize the value of your time, but you did not only met up with her again, you also did not put up any boundaries with clear consequences. Why? You deserve better treatment, but you also need to demand it. That might make you less popular in an age of commitment phobia. But at least you protect yourself from becoming an on-demand entertainer who would feel just as lonely being with these kind of people than without. Focus on finding better people to hang out with, and make the best of your time. People who ghost are not ready for responsibility, or do not care as much as you in my experience. I have been ghosted by girlfriends and people who I considered to be good friends of mine. But nowadays it is just so easy. Hit block and you don't have to worry about them again. Hang up or ignore your calls, leave you on read, etc. It hurts. It really hurts, because you feel so powerless and nothing you can say or do will make things different. It has left me with a serious lack of trust in people. Gotta ask yourself in a really honest way, are you really important to this people? Are those people really important to you? That being said, don't waste time trying to understand why people are like that. Just focus on yourself, and don't give them the sensation that you need them, otherwise you will be ghosted much harder. It is life sometimes. Exactly the same thing was happening to me recently. I had people really get involved in hanging out together with me, and then they ditched me, or made excuses for no apparent reason. It was so bad that I became paranoid, thinking that they somehow found out something terrible about me, and are so shocked they cannot even talk about it with me. I guess in your case with a small town it might be even worse, since everyone knows everything about others and very few things remain in secret. I have never felt so lonely, and I have never expected my 20s to be so lonely. Turns out it has becomes more and more difficult to make friends when you become older. High school was a time when people were growing up and starting to explore the world and how life works. First struggles, etc. More free time as well. When you become an adolescent, though, 1. It is much more difficult to make new friends because you have more things to do, and everyone else has, and people just seem too busy to make new connections unless they derive some benefit from them, and 2. Your old friends are now scattered around the world and it is just difficult to maintain that relationship. I guess social media has also reduced the in-person connection, and weakened the feeling of social presence, responsibility for honor's words, and for keeping promises. What helped me was not to give up, and keep looking for people to get connected with. I have reached out to my old friends from high school and college with whom I felt a special connection. We quickly revived our communication, and it felt great to have a lot to talk about the past and the present. With new people it is more difficult, but I tried to have as much of in-person communication as possible, and it seemed to work and make things less awkward and relations sturdier. It also helped to quickly find out horror is a good fit for you. On the final note, I just wanted to stress that having 2 to 3 good people, friends plus a partner, is healing and makes you stronger and resistant to various kinds of bull life gives you. Now I don't even care when someone new ghosts me. It is much easier to accept that it was just not your type of person this way. I am not a native English speaker, so sorry for my grammar. I am a girl IDKY. I am here on the AskMen Reddit, but I unfriended a friend who would ghost me a few times every time we made plans together. I made the effort to travel 1 hour for her, and she had cancel because her aunt was not feeling well, and she had to go see her at the hospital. It is always something with her family. I felt for her. But why did not she say something before I came all that way for her? It happened so many times. I told her I will no longer ask her because I understand she was very busy in life. Sigh. My only friend, whom I enjoyed because we are both low maintenance. But not like this. For women, it is just safer. Too many guys get so possessive so quickly. If I were a woman, and I was not feeling it, I would not risk a man's reaction. Ghost just makes sense from a safety perspective. I may be wrong, but you seem to be the common denominator. If they are still doing stuff, but not with you, then you may need to evaluate things you have done, or do around your friends, specifically the girlfriends. The sick cat is a giant red flag. She is done with you. If you meant something to her, then she would have called and explained as soon as possible. Move on. He gets that. The post is about ghosting culture. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.